You might think the age of exploration is over. Human beings have seen everything there is to see, at least on land, right? But what if you knew there was an animal so rare that people didn't think it was real for years? It must be because it's endangered, you might say. But no. The large-billed reed warbler is a bird with a healthy population size. Yet it's known as the least known bird in the world. Some birds just prefer staying off the grid in life, death, and taxonomy. Welcome back to Life, Death, and Taxonomy. It's your 30 minutes of interesting animal information. I'm Joe.
And I'm Carlos.
And today we're talking about something you probably have never heard of, but more on that later. Actually, wait.
I am confused.
Yeah. Thank you to Cassie for the creation of our theme song. To hear more of Cassie's music, please search Cassie Michelle on YouTube or Spotify.
And thank you to Johanna for the creation of this week's artwork. To check that out, you can visit us at our home of the web at ldtaxonomy.com. And a very special thank you to our patrons, and thank you to our newest patron, Pipe Morgan, which is just a good name. That is mwah, chef's kiss. Thank you so much for your support. It's greatly appreciated. Thanks for helping us keep the lights on. If you'd like to donate yourself, don't donate yourself. If you would also like to donate, just visit patreon.com/ldtaxonomy. Yeah, we don't need you to donate yourself. Just donate and move on.
We're not Uncle Sam.
Click on donate on our website. We have a special button just for that. Anyway, now you can say what we're talking about.
Yeah, we're talking about something you probably have never heard of, but more on that imminently.
Oh, yes. Well, I'll say what we're talking about. We're talking about the large-billed reed warbler.
Now you've heard of it.
Yeah? Mystery solved.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it's a very mysterious bird. It's also called the large-billed warbler, but we're going to call it the big bush bill, and the Where's Waldo of the wetlands.
Mm-hmm.
So let's taxonomize this. It's in a kingdom you know, love, and are in that kingdom is Animalia. The phylum is Chordata. Class is Aves. The order, because it's a bird, the order is Passeriformes, which is the largest order of birds. Everything from crows to jays are in the Passeriformes. The family is Acrocephalidae. The genus is Acrocephalus. And the species is Ornis. So the binomial nomenclature is Acrocephalus ornis. But we're not doing nitty-gritty nomenclature. We're in the business of naming things, and that business is good. So we're going to do critter groups. We're doing a bird. Birds have cool terms of entry. Or maybe not cool.
Plentiful?
Unique. They have terms of entry. That's one.
Yeah.
It's not just school for all fish, army for all frogs. Each class of birds has its own, not class, but each family of birds has its own term of entry.
Do you think it's bird watchers or ornithologists that are making these?
Like scientists or amateurs?
Mm-hmm. Enthusiasts or scientists?
Because I'm sure that ornithologists are also bird watchers, almost by
probably.
necessity. I'd say.
True.
I'd probably have to hand it to bird watchers. I'd imagine that bird watchers are responsible for that, and then ornithologists are just like, fine, whatever.
Yeah, ornithologists are like, it's called Acrocephalus ornis.
Like
that's what it's called.
They're busy running, high intensity chemical tests on their bones or something like that to find out whether they can survive in space.
They're probably looking at groups and like that's a group of passeriforms over there.
And a bunch of bird enthusiasts are like, what if we called it a parliament of owls? And the ornithologist is like, it's fine, whatever. We're trying to figure out why this one can turn its head all the way around. Or
why can it make a sound louder than a motorcycle?
Yeah, we're trying to adapt its night vision to humans. Excuse me while I work. While I do real science. Anyway, so warblers have their own term of venery. Is it A, an acquiescence of warblers, B, a bouquet of warblers, C, a carriage of warblers, or D, a dazzle of warblers?
A bouquet. Final answer.
How did you know?
That's correct?
Yeah, that is correct.
I knew because it was one of the two I remembered when I was thinking through them.
Oh,
that
you've already
Dazzle.
You've already seen it before?
No. I mean, when you said the 4, I remembered 2 of them, and I picked them.
Well, dazzle is for zebras anyway. I just needed something that started with a D because it's A, B, C, D again. Yes, it's a bouquet of warblers. There's actually several, so if for some reason we lose this audio, I got another one locked and loaded. Or if we do another warbler. So yes, a bouquet of warblers. Let's talk about what this guy looks like. It's funny because if you look up a picture of this bird, it's almost exclusively pictures of people like with its feet in their fists. Yeah. This is not like a parakeet that is willing to sit on your finger and have a chat. This is a bird that if you want to take
a handful of its legs.
If you want to take a picture of it, you have to put it in. You got to put it in an arm bar or a leg bar.
There's a picture. There's a picture on Wikipedia where the index finger that's holding the legs is a different color than the other ones
because of how tightly he's. He's white knuckling all but his index finger because he doesn't want to break the bird's legs. So yeah, clearly not a. I mean, I'm sure we'll talk about it later, but not a bird that likes to stick around and be photographed willingly. So it has sleek brownish plumage. It helps it blend directly into reeds and grasses in which it lives. It has a slightly oversized bill, as the name indicates. It is called the large-billed reed warbler. So it kind of has a little bit of a kingfisher look to it, with just that long beak. It has a compact, kind of sparrow-sized body, and so it's like big finch, small sparrow. It doesn't, like I said, doesn't have any fancy plumage. It doesn't have any bright colors. It's very no nonsense. It's practical, which is something that I can definitely respect. All of these other birds, sometimes literally peacocking around, unacceptable.
It looks a little fuzzy. Like all passeriforms have like a fuzz quality to their fur. Like if you think about a raven, but this one looks fuzzy. Looks like almost like a little mouse. But it might be puffed up.
Yeah, it can when it's disturbed, it can fluff up its mohawk and give it a little bit of a. It gives it even more of a kingfisher vibe. But when that's not up, it kind of just looks like a sparrow. It does have some subtle black and brown streaks on its back, which help it blend into like the vertical reeds that it and grasses that it lives in. But I said it was like a big finch, a small sparrow. So I think we're good. We don't need to play like a game or anything around it.
We probably should put it in relatable terms. So let's welcome everyone to the beloved Measure Up segment, the official part of the show, in which we present the animal size and dimensions in relatable terms through a quiz. It's fun for the whole family. It's also part of the show that's introduced by you when you send an audio of yourself singing or chittering the words Measure Up into ldtaxonomy@gmail.com. We don't have a new Measure Up intro this week, but that means we get to hear from an animal, and Carlos has to guess what it is.
Warbler.
Correct. No, we'll see.
Did you find a cartoon warbler? Whatever you put, my answer is going to be Bluey.
Without final ado, without further ado, let's the listener's favorite part of the show.
I'm stuck. Help me out of here and I'll owe you a favor. No, not a wish. I'm not magical. I'll just do you a good turn. No.
What is that? Who is that?
It occurred to me that if you are not having any more adus, then that's your final adieu.
That's true.
So yeah, having passed our final adieu, and without further ado, we move on. I have no idea. I've never heard that before.
That is Beatrice from Over the Garden Wall.
Oh yeah, I haven't watched.
She looks like she might be some sort of warbler. It's possible.
That's from the same people that made like Gravity
bird.
Falls, right?
I don't know. I've never seen Gravity Falls. I have seen Over the Garden Wall. And Elijah Wood's in it. And
interesting. Yeah, I've only been watching Bluey and VeggieTales, so haven't gotten to that one yet.
Let's talk length. They're 13 to 14 centimeters, or 5 to 5.5 inches long. So that is the same as 26 of them going into the New Year's ball. I don't know what it's called. Is that just what it is? The ball?
The ball, yeah, right? No? It's probably...
So that's A. B, 12 go into 12 grapes. Or C, 12 go into a raven's wingspan.
12 go into a raven's wingspan, or 24 go into the ball?
26.
26. Is that ball... That would be a really small ball then. Not like super small, but...
I wrote 12 go into 12 grapes. I certainly meant 2. They are only a grape-sized bird.
I was just thinking of it. Yeah, is the New Year's ball like 13 feet in, I suppose, diameter? Possibly. It's probably bigger than that. 2 go into 12 grapes.
Yeah.
The last bag of grapes I got was exceptionally long. Like each one of them was like very elongated, like an eggplant. So my grape metrics are currently skewed.
There's a specific kind of a grape that's long, isn't it? There's a long grape out there.
They're just red seedless grapes from Aldi. So,
oh, there's a particular kind of long grape.
I love long grapes.
Moondrop grapes.
I only like long grapes now. They're my favorite.
I've had them. Moondrop grapes are quite good. They look like Vienna sausages.
If you try to give me like a normal like white grape or something like that, I'm gonna say no, thank you, not long enough.
What's this short grape?
All right, I'm going.
What is this grape abbreviated?
What was the last one?
This is an abridged grape. 12 go into a raven's wingspan.
12 of them go into a raven's wingspan. That is not the case. So we're gonna go with the ball. Done. The New Year's ball.
The correct answer is A, the New Year's ball.
Yeah.
A raven's wingspan can be up to almost 5 feet.
Really?
Yeah.
Goodness, it's bigger than a vulture.
Or
Or like at least the vultures that I ran past this morning that were eating a possum I found.
I mean, grapes can be 2 going into 12 grapes. Because they're 5.5 inches long, and grapes can be close to an inch. So it's not quite, but it's close to 12 grapes.
No, that would be
Long. If it's long grapes,
true.
it's out of the question.
Which I mean, in my opinion, are the only grapes that matter.
Right. Let's talk about their weight. They're 10 to 14 grams, or 0.35 to 0.5 ounces. A mere fraction of an ounce, because an ounce is the largest unit of measurement.
Too big.
Are they A, the same weight as 2 grapes? B,
Why
the
grapes?
same weight as 6?
Are you
6
reading the Grapes of
blueberries.
Wrath? Is that the problem?
Well, actually, the first one was because Hispanic people eat 12 grapes on New Year's. I actually don't know. 12 grapes.
Well, I'm Hispanic and I didn't, so patently false.
12 grapes at midnight is a Spanish tradition. It's from Spain.
Oh, okay. It's not Hispanic.
But I don't know any people from Spain, and I know people that do this.
I know a few people from Spain. I know a Carlos from Spain. I work with a Carlos from Spain, but his last name is De La Fuente.
Of the Fuente.
Of the fountain. They have really cool. Whenever you hear like a Del Toro or something like that, or it's always like, this is Carlos, but of the bull, or of the gate, or of the fountain, or of the wind, or something like that. Very, very cool way to have a last name, in my opinion.
One strawberry, 6 blueberries, or 2 grapes.
The strawberries, because those are my favorite of the 3.
One strawberry?
Unless the grapes are long, and then the grapes are my favorite. But we're gonna go with strawberries.
Final answer?
Yeah.
The correct answer is 1 strawberry.
Yes.
That's 2 in a row.
Knocked it out of the park. This is a good start to the year.
Mm-hmm. Better than the real world, where there's a tax and nonsense.
Yeah, but this is my real world, and everything's coming up Carlos, but not De La Fuente.
Regular
Carlos.
Not the spicy.
Not
the extra spicy one.
Long Carlos with the long grapes.
Do you have any fast facts before we get into the big fact?
I do. So the large-billed reed warbler is found in some scattered spots across South and Central Asia. It can be found elsewhere, but it's mainly found there. It likes these, as its name suggests, marshy reeds. It likes wetlands, where it can use its camouflage to its greatest effect. Sweatlands.
Sweatlands.
They are insectivorous. They eat bugs, spiders. They are the pest control force of what I imagine is the expansive swamps of Central Asia. They live for about 7 to 10 years in the wild. They are solitary, which makes them even harder to spot when there's only one of them instead of a group. And it needs to keep an eye out for things like owls, snakes, and apparently humans that want to just absolutely crush their legs.
Want a fistful of bird legs.
Yeah, a fistful of bird. that was Clint Eastwood's fourth movie. And then the fifth one was going to be 20 bird legs more. All right. And as a warbler, it warbles. I'm not going to do a warble for you, but just go check it out. And it's soft and melodic. So I'll leave it at that.
Okie dokie. Let's talk about the biggest fact of all.
The longest fact. Is it a long fact?
Longest fact.
Yes.
This is the least known bird. The long-billed red warbler is the world's longest, least known bird.
You made it.
Because it was known from only a single specimen collected in India in 1867. So for a long time, we knew it from one specimen. But for over a century, it was considered a myth, a mystery, a warbler of the wisp.
A warbler in the woof.
A warbler in the willows. But that is until it was rediscovered in the wild in Thailand in 2006. Even after its rediscovery, very little is known about its habits, breeding, and population structure. So that got me to thinking, how can a bird be rarely observed, rarely collected, and yet listed as least concern on conservation lists? Why isn't it endangered if we don't know much about it, if we don't see them ever? So data is indicating that the large-billed reed warbler is thriving, and that data comes from observations and studies in the areas where the bird is known to breed. So, you can find them in the stands. And if you look in northeastern Afghanistan, the species has been described as relatively common, with an estimated 2 to 4 breeding pairs per hectare, over 450 hectares of suitable habitat. So that suggests that the population is around 900 to 1,800 breeding pairs, or roughly 18,000 to 3,600 mature individuals in that area alone. So they're observing, even though they're considered common in the area they're known to live, even though we haven't scientifically studied them or been able to observe them. So similar densities have been observed in Panj, Gund, and lower Pamir valleys in Tajikistan. While overall breeding pairs or breeding range... Tajikistan? But no, it isn't Tajikistan. It's Tajikistan.
You sure?
There's an I after the K.
Oh, you're right. Tajikistan. Huh. I don't know why I've always read that Tajikistan.
The overall breeding range is estimated to be around 18,000 kilometers, The population is suspected to be at least 1,000 to 10,000. So data suggests, observation suggests, that there are 10,000 birds out there, but we can't prove it. So that's we just don't see them, I guess. They're just too elusive.
Well, or people see them, but they're not the kind of people that would care.
Right.
Like, oh, look, a bird. Which
Locals.
is what I would do if I saw a bird.
little brown bird. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's
not like-
it's unremarkable. And if you're just out there, I mean, there's this is one of the most, some of the areas where this bird lives are some of the more populated areas in the world. So people see them, but they're just like, I'm just gonna keep doing what I was doing. I saw a brown bird one time.
But so why is it so difficult for scientists to observe? So they're super elusive and difficult to observe for a number of reasons. One is that its habitat is primarily in dense reed beds and other thick vegetations near wetlands, making it difficult to spot and study. You need good galoshes to study this bird. A wetland bird, it's not really like a good hiking bird, you know, a bird to see while you're hiking. Behavior, the bird is known for its shy and secretive nature. It tells little secrets to its little friends, often remaining hidden within vegetation. So it's brown and unremarkable to look at, but when it still refuses to show itself to you. Maybe because somebody said that bird is brown and unremarkable to look at, and now it's shy.
And he said, "Hey, that's racist."
Mm-hmm.
Or the secret that it has is that Smog is missing a scale on his belly, and the only one he's going to tell that to is Bard the Boatman.
Right. Because who'd you tell besides Bard?
No one. Bard's long enough. You could tell him.
While it's relatively common in certain areas, its overall range is limited, and it may not present itself in other regions. So, yeah, 18,000 kilometers is its range. It's not that big for a bird, considering the sky is not even the limit. And then the other reason is that there has been relatively little research conducted on the species, so less information is available compared to other well-known bird species. And I suspect that's because these ornithologists don't like brown birds. And that's racist.
Oh, look, another brown bird. Goodness.
I can imagine, let's say, it's a passeriform. It doesn't look particularly striking. You know.
Does it look like another bird? Maybe it's one of those situations where like they think it's another bird, a different kind of bird.
It looks like every bird to me.
It really does.
It looks like a mockingbird. It looks like
a sparrow. It looks like it's got like the spear bill of a kingfisher sort of thing. It works in accounting. It's the bird that works in accounting.
Yeah.
It's Debbie from accounting. I'm sorry if your name is Debbie, but yeah. And there's so many bird species. And it's not like a lot of birders are going to places like Tajikistan.
True. Yeah, like mountainous countries, wetlands. You kind of want a nice walk in the woods if you're a birder.
Yeah, it was found in Afghanistan in 2009. So do I want to put on my galoshes and go into a war zone or to look at a little brown bird, or am I gonna keep looking at gulls in sunny southern Florida? Like, what are the two things I'm gonna do?
Yeah, it's more of a place for herders, not birders.
Put that on a sign, on a picket sign.
But the world's least known bird. Actually, the world's least known bird is one we haven't discovered yet.
Yeah, that's true. We're assuming that we've discovered them all.
If we've discovered them all, this one's the least known. If not, it is the least known of known birds. I guess if something is not known, it is not least known.
Yeah, true.
Because doesn't something have to be known to be least known?
True. That's a good point. It's not even on the scale. It's not even in the race.
Right. Those are unknown birds.
You can't lose a race you're not participating in.
Right. That's all I got.
That is so you'll miss 100% of the shots you don't take? No, you won't. I didn't miss. I didn't take the shot. That doesn't count.
You'll not win 100% of the races you don't enter.
Right, that's true, but I won't lose them either. I'm not a loser because I didn't lose the all the races I haven't entered that are currently happening at this moment. What a goofy
it should be
saying.
You failed to make 100% of the shots you don't take.
You didn't fail anything. You just didn't.
You failed to make them. Yeah, you did.
Anytime
every
you don't
shot. Every time, every basketball game on both sides, every single point, every single shot on the basket is one you fail to take.
you person sitting at home.
Yeah.
You 2-year-old dribbling into your oatmeal. You failed to take that shot. Yeah, that's too much pressure for a motivational poster with a cat on it to give me.
A basketball poster.
Gross. We need to stop. So for you out there, that's the large-billed reed warbler for you out there in Podcastia. Munch on a bug. Warble your best warble if you have one, and stay secret, stay safe. Like the reed warbler here in Life, Death, and Taxonomy.
Hey Taxonomy Titans, I just want to remind you that we now have a Patreon. Patrons can see full video episodes and get shoutouts on the show. But ultimately, it's a way for you to help us cover some costs and get even better. Still, reviews are the best way to help us grow. So if you haven't left one yet, we'd really love to hear from you. As always, thanks for listening and engaging.
Life, Death, and Taxonomy is my favorite in the world podcast.
You should try some moon drop grapes.